As John said, the next congresswoman from the 6th, the next representative of the 6th Congressional District of the State of Maryland, Jennifer P. Doherty.
Well, you know, when you follow a panel of experts, it's good to be a generalist. But you know what you just heard? You heard a statement of our core values as Democrats. What do we really believe in? What is the thing that drives us to go to the polls? And each person here has said what we believe in as Democrats and as Americans. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in controlling our borders and creating that true national identity. And we believe that every American deserves proper health care and health coverage. And not just a nod to the students in the back or the teachers that pepper every table. We know that we have to educate our children because that is the only thing that we can trust. Because they're going to be looking after us in some day in the future. And I want the next mayor and the next president and the next, well, members of Congress to know what is important to us and to hold the same core values that we hold. When we go to Washington, we have debates, you know, just like you have around this table. No Child Left Behind, as we've already talked about, isn't working. What does Governor O'Malley say? We have to make our government work again. And we know that Senator Mikulski is one of the leaders in the Congress, but she needs help. And so listening to our teachers and to our students, you know, we had a conversation before breakfast about what is important in education. In No Child Left Behind, what are the students saying? Keep our teachers, reward our teachers. And I think that's what, I see some nodding heads. We need to reward our teachers. And for those of you who don't know, my sister's an educator. She's a happy Frederick County public school teacher. And she has just finished, as a reading specialist, another series of tests. She says the same thing that her peers say throughout this state. This test doesn't help me teach children. And what we have to do is work to improve it. One of the other core issues that faces us as a nation is health care. It's just wrong that President Bush, Senator McCain, and Roscoe Bartlett can support $480 billion in cuts to Medicare over the next 5 years. It's just wrong that $95 billion in Medicaid can be cut in their proposals over the next 5 years. It's wrong for $18 billion in new fees to be assigned to our veterans who are returning from a war that they did not choose. We have to do better. We have to be more progressive. And Democrats, under the leadership of Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid, have done something to address our core values as Democrats when it comes to health care. They have had that terrible debate over whether we cover our children. They had a revenue-neutral program for $50 billion for the state children's health insurance program. Can you imagine voting against health care for children? You cannot imagine it. Why? Because it's not the right thing to do. These are easy votes. And President Bush and Senator McCain and Roscoe Bartlett stand together in opposing coverage for children. And I'll tell you the idea, it was in a comic strip, an editorial cartoon that I saw. We don't want to give them health care as children because they might expect it when they grow up. You can't believe it, but that stuff's true. But why does it matter? Why does it matter if we have health care? Why does it matter if every American gets coverage? Because this year, 18,000 people will die because they were not given coverage because they did not get health care. This year, 80% of people in working families go without health care. This year, 26% of the people who work for large companies with over 500 employees go without health care. That's not an American value. That's not what we hold as a core value as Democrats. It's not what our friends in labor fight for when they're negotiating a contract that protects their current workers and protects their retirees. That's not what we believe as Americans, and that's not what we believe as Democrats. Why does it matter? Why does it matter that 19% of those who could not afford to go to a doctor this year are going to suffer serious illness, and their cure will cost more if they're lucky enough to be cured? These are the things that are important in this election, and these are the things that we'll fight for because they are our core values. We know that if we don't make some changes, every cent on spending, our medical spending, will go up in the next 5 years, or excuse me, the next 20 years, and it will go to fill the gap on our GDP. That means we can't spend money on education. That means we can't spend money on the environment and protecting our national parks and our state parks. That means we don't have more money for scientific research. And that clearly means we will not have money to pay for our national security in an adequate way. You know, as a mayor, I had an opportunity to work on national security issues. Those of you who are around Frederick, you know that in 2001 our primary was held on September 11th. And that